Hello, I am Lexi La Grotteria. As you can pick up from my name and some of the recipes on this channel, yes, I am Italiana. Today I want to show you how to make the most beautiful focaccia in just 4 easy steps. No kneading involved. This is really simple dough to make and you don't really do much to it. You just need to have the time to let it rest and do its magic all by itself, which is why this is not hard to do. This is a really beautiful bread to have on your Christmas table, and you will see later in the video when we are adding toppings. We are going to add fresh rosemary and tomato in the shape of a Christmas tree. Okay, I'm super excited. Let's do this. Step number 1. Let's mix all the ingredients together. I've already added the yeast to warm water, and now I'm adding a teaspoon of honey. I'm keeping this recipe vegan, so I'm using vegan honey. You could also use a teaspoon of sugar. Give it a good stir with a whisk. You want to see bubbles forming. If you don't see any bubbles forming, you know you have a bad packet of yeast and the yeast is dead, and then don't proceed to add your flour and waste the rest of the ingredients. Just start again with a new packet of yeast. And that is looking beautiful and bubbly. So let's proceed to add the rest of the ingredients. Now the star ingredient to the focaccia. A focaccia would not be a focaccia without extra virgin olive oil, and you'll see we use plenty. The olive oil adds amazing flavor to the focaccia, also makes it very moist and soft inside. Let's say that olive oil is to focaccia what butter is to brioche. I like that. Now, why do Italians insist on extra virgin olive oil and not just olive oil? Well, some of the regular olive oils are quite flavorless due to the over-processing. So always use extra virgin olive oil. We've now added the flour in stages and the salt. And we're going to just get it well mixed together. We're not going to be doing any kneading. We're not going to be touching the bread. We're just going to make sure that every ingredient is well incorporated into the mixture. If you are enjoying this series of Christmas recipes, please subscribe. We have so many beautiful recipes to share, and I will be uploading at least 1, if not 2, in the week ahead leading up to Christmas. So I really don't want you to miss out on these beautiful recipes. So please just give us a like and a subscribe, and many more beautiful recipes to follow. And step number 1 is done. We're now going to cover up and rest for half an hour. I forgot to add another tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, so I just went back quickly and did that. Right, on to step number 2. Now we need to give some structure to our dough. So this is our first set of 2 stretch and folds. So we're basically just lifting the dough up, giving it a little stretch, and then folding it. And as you can see, it's a very wet dough. So wet your hand before. Don't add any water into the mixture, but just make sure you've got a wet hand, and there you'll see I can now continue with the stretch and fold a whole lot easier without it sticking. This is what's going to add all those lovely air bubbles into the dough. So let's cover up again, and now we're going to rest for an hour. Okay, are you ready for this? An hour later and the magic has happened. You have to see this. Look at that wobble. If your dough does not have a wobble like that, you're not going to get a light, fluffy focaccia. So very important. So once again, we're going to just wet our hand, and we're going to do our second set of stretch and fold. The dough is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Stunning. And we didn't have to knead it. It did all this magic on its own. That's what I love about the focaccia. And we are on to the second last step already. Take a baking tray and sprinkle on olive oil. Of course, extra virgin olive oil. And just when you think you have put on enough, add a little extra. Because you can never have enough extra virgin olive oil in your focaccia. Okay, now look at this dough. Wow. It is beautiful. It is so soft. We're not going to do much with the dough now. We're just going to get it onto the baking sheet, give it a tiny little stretch out in the direction we want it to go, and then we are going to leave it because it is now going to have another rest, a little bit more magic to happen, and then comes the fun part. So please stay with us for that. Okay, the dough is rested for another half an hour, and this is what it looks like. We're adding some more extra virgin olive oil. And we are on to our last step, step number 4. You'll see how the dough is stretched out in the pan. But you can use your fingers to gently shape it however you want it. Be generous with the extra virgin olive oil. It is a focaccia after all. It's all about the olive oil. Now comes the fun part, the dimpling. Press your fingertips into the dough, and you'll see as you are doing that, all the bubbles come up. Isn't that beautiful? This is definitely the best part of making focaccia. So now we're going to add a sprinkle of water, just all around. So when this goes into the oven, it will steam up and you're going to get that beautiful crunchy crust, which is what we want. We want our focaccia to be soft and fluffy and moist on the inside and crispy and crunchy on the outside. How beautiful is that? Now we're going to add some coarse sea salt for that beautiful flavor on the outside. And then we're going to decorate however we wish. This one that I'm doing today is for Christmas. And I'm decorating it, or trying to. I'm trying to make a tree shape with the rosemary. And then I'm going to fill it in with some cherry tomatoes. But you could use anything. You could use onions, you could use peppers, you could use olives, spring onion, whatever you want to use to decorate, to make your tree, or however you want to decorate it. And just look at those beautiful bubbles in the middle. I'm sure you'll do a better tree than me. I tried. This part of focaccia making, you could definitely get your children involved. They would love to do the dumpling, and they are so creative with the decorations. The only thing to do now is get that baby in the oven. A hot oven of 220 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. Make sure, very, very important, that you put it on the very bottom rack, else it will burn. I really do hope that you will give this a try, and that this will be a beautiful feature on your Christmas table. How stunning is that? Light and fluffy on the inside and crispy on the outside. Such a beautiful bread. Give it a try.